Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday the 7th of February 2025. In today's Millwall news, big news in the property purchasing department. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. This was posted up this afternoon. The club have made a statement about Calmont Road. Millwall Football Club is pleased to announce it has completed the freehold purchase of its first team and under-21s training facility, Calmont Road. Since the sale and leaseback of Calmont Road in 2006, annually the club has been suffering a significant financial burden to rent the site and therefore limited its options to develop the training ground. With the previous lease due to expire in 2026, the freehold purchase of the site provides short and mid-term certainty of tenure and now free of lease terms and potential significant rental increase. The club has the ability to explore its long-term strategic options around both first team and academy training centres at its own pace. Over the summer, a considerable financial commitment was made to improve Calmont Road pitches with new stitching and drainage installed. Plans are already underway and being implemented to upgrade its facilities for players, management and staff, including a new recovery suite, changing rooms as well as office and presentation space. Mill's managing director Mark Fairbrother said, this is another really positive step in what's been a very exciting time here at Millwall Football Club. Purchasing the Calmont Road training facility in its entirety frees the club from a heavy rental commitment each year and the reliance on the Berylson family to continue funding that significant cost. Under the club's ownership, we can proceed with our exciting plans, which are ready to go, modernising the site and making it a training facility which drives the club's core values of hard work, family and togetherness. This is a signal of the club's commitment to player development. The progress at our two West Kingdown sites is gradual, but costs continue to rise. In the meantime, it is imperative that we are focused on ensuring our current training ground has the best facilities possible for the here and now. I thank our owner James and the entire Berylson family for their unwavering support on this project and incredible commitment to the football club. There is one more person you might want to thank, and that's Romain Esse. Because since he's left and everyone was moaning about that, the move in itself, but the move to Crystal Palace for the vast sum of money that we received for him, we've now been able to buy back the training ground. We've now bought a load of younger players to come into the squad, some of them seem pretty good. And I believe, that was the catalyst for that happening. One thing I would say, so I did 2 West Kingdown sites. What, two? I thought it was 1. I believe they said before that the plan was that the youth teams, as in under 18s and under, will be in the future. They hope that they'll be training Calmont Road, and then the first team, maybe the under-21s or maybe the under-21s that stay at Calmont Road, will go to West Kingsdown, and they'll be training there once that gets built. So we wait to see. Now it was some surprise, but I have shown this before. And it's just decided to refresh while I clicked on it. Thank you very much. That this hasn't been actioned yet. So I've shown this before. This is a planning application from 4 years ago. And it's the siting of a single-storey modular building for a temporary period of 4 years to accommodate a gymnasium and medical treatment room at Millwall Football Club training ground, Calmont Road, BR1. And that decision was granted on Thursday the 27th of May 2021. That was 4 years ago. In May it's going to be 4 years ago. And I was looking at this, and I mentioned in the previous video, because it does say in the planning thing, after 4 years, you need to return to the site to its original condition. So these temporary buildings need to go, and you need to restore it. Now, obviously, that we're 3 months away now. So it seems that they were probably waiting until they bought the freehold for the site and then they're probably going to... But then they have to submit a planning application. Now, why was this granted? Is it just because it was temporary? If they're trying to get something more permanent, will the locals complain? We already had a story earlier in the year when they did the upgrading for the drainage. There was a story in the news shopper about someone who lived down the road complaining about apparently there was noise 24/7, which is hard to see because we live in a day and age where everyone's got a camera on their phone, yet she couldn't record the noise happening at 3 a.m. But she went to the newspapers and they published it. So, this isn't gonna... Now, do they try to get this extended? Or do they try to get a new planning and permission stuff put through? And will the locals be very hard in opposing that? We wait to see. So, that happened today. Also today was match day for the under-21s. A very young team. So 7th heaven for Millwall's under-21s. 7th heaven because they've now won 7 games in a row. Oh my goodness. So Millwall's under-21s defeated 10-man Cardiff City 2-0 at Calmont Road. That we just mentioned. In the Professional Development League on Friday afternoon, Frankie Baker and Jaden Celestine Charles found the net in each half to register a 7th successive victory. Raheem Conte was shown a straight red card in the first half stoppage time for the visitors. With Saturday's Emirates FA Cup fourth round tie against Leeds on the horizon, manager Kevin Nugent named a more youthful side for the meeting with the Blue Boys. Yes, when I saw the team, as I saw how young it was, I was like, oh, now... I don't think that's got to do... They say it's to do with the Leeds game. I don't think it's anything to do with that, really. I don't think... We'll get onto it in a minute, but Alex Neil said he won't be making that many changes. What I think has happened is that I believe that the under-18s game last week, and maybe even before that, was postponed due to weather. So the under-18s haven't had a game for a while. So I think a few of them were chucked into this game, just to give them some game time. Benicio Baker, though, started for the under-21s with a new signing being cup-tied. In horrendous conditions, yeah. According to the live feed on Twitter, there wasn't a shot on goal until the 26th minute. Millwall took the lead on 32 minutes as Baker took control of the loose ball to fire home. That's Frankie Baker, not Benicio Baker, the Baker brothers. They're not brothers. One of them's white, one of them's black. I'm joking. That was followed by Conte's red card as a half-time whistle loomed. The defender drawing blood, oh my goodness, from Oliver Evans with a high foot before giving his marching orders, and that's Ollie Evans there. I don't think that's from the game. I think it's from previous, because obviously it's not raining there. In the second half, the Lions doubled their advantage on 56 minutes as Celestine Charles scored his second goal in as many matches, following Millwall winning back possession high up from a Cardiff goal kick. Oh, were they doing that thing where you pass it out from the back? Oh, you wallies. You absolute wallies. You love it when teams do that and they come unstuck. Oh, even though, they're young, but, I mean, come on. Just will it up there, especially if it's pissing down. With 7 wins in a row today, Millwall under-21s next face a London derby away to Charlton Athletic on Tuesday 18th of February. And at the minute, that's due to be taking place at Dartford FC's Princes Park ground, which is Charlton Athletic's under-21s home ground. And that's a big game because they're at the top of the table with us, and obviously it's a local derby. That's always a tasty game. Now, the young side was Preswosny, Ollie Evans, Drake, Lamptey, Taylor, Dyer, B. Baker, Lawson. Oh, Lawson's back. Nice. Frankie Baker, F. Baker, Celestine Charles, Haywood. And the subs were Beaumont on for Ollie Evans, so it looks like they took him off at half-time because of the injury. Hopefully it's not too serious. Kendall on for Benicio back on the 60th minute. Howland on for Lawson at half-time. So obviously they're easing Lawson back in. Hopefully he's not injured. Again, subs not used, Linda and Vieira. So there you go. Not bad. And what that does now, it leaves the table looking like that. And you can see the next game against Charlton. What a game. What's the game? Top of the table clash. Obviously, if you look, you can see Brentford have got 2 games in hand of us, so it is really us against Charlton. Obviously, you would imagine Brentford are 1 point behind with 2 extra games. They'll surely get enough points to go above us, so it's between us and Charlton. So this next game is a really big game, and Charlton, they are the top scorers. They've scored 57 goals, which is a hell of a lot of goals. But we have the best defence. We've only conceded 22, so there you go. Defence versus attack. What will come out on top? So, now moving on to some interviews and some information regarding the players. We got this. So Calum Scanlon mentioned briefly on his Instagram the other day that he was... I don't follow them on Instagram. I'm not one of them. I don't do that. If you do, fair play to you. It's not for me. That he's going back to Liverpool, and we have it confirmed from Alex Neil. So this is from the southernnews.co.uk. Millwall head coach confirms Calum Scanlon will return to Liverpool after really bad hamstring injury. Well, that's not good, is it? Alex Neil confirmed Calum Scanlon will be returning to his parent club Liverpool after suffering a really bad hamstring injury. Scanlon joined the Lions on loan last August but sustained a stress fracture in his back just 12 minutes into his debut, a 1-0 defeat to Luton Town on September the 14th. The 19-year-old rehabbed his injury at Liverpool before returning to South East London in January. Scanlon was able to start 3 games in a row before limping off just 16 minutes into the reverse fixture against Luton on January the 25th. Well, unfortunately, Calum's got a really bad hamstring injury, Neil said. He required surgery, which he had already had, and I believe everything went successful. But I'll roll him out for basically 16 weeks, which takes him to the end of the season. So, he'll go back to Liverpool. We're naturally upset for him, obviously disappointed for ourselves, because it means that we've got a really strong, dynamic and talented young player unavailable for us. But it's sort of the nature of the game. Injury is a big part of the game at the moment because he's so athletically based in terms of having to get up and down the pitch. Calum's probably won that, if I'm honest, with the bodies that we've got in just now. He wouldn't have played the minutes that he's played. He played all those games in succession, born out of the fact that, we had a very limited options available at the point. Hence the reason why we've done what we've done in the window. So there you go. Sad. Get well soon. Don't get well soon. Get well good. Get back. Do what you got to do. And good luck for the future, young man. Now, Aaron Connolly, the sensation, the Irish sensation, from londonnewsonline.co.uk. I've got plenty of time to get my career back where I want it. In depth with Millwall attacker Aaron Connolly. Well, as a man of a certain years, I would say you're 25. You got 5 more years left. That will flick through in a heartbeat. Time does fly. So, I don't think. I'm not sure about that. So Aaron Connolly is loving life at Millwall and determined that his performances land him a longer-term stay in SC16. The former Brighton striker, who had been on the books of Sunderland, signed for the Lions in the middle of the month on a deal until the end of the season. And Connolly has made an impressive start to his time with the South Londoners. Not only did he score the opener in Saturday's 2-1 win over QPR, but also laid a glorious chance on for Rhys Bangor Williams in last week's 1-0 victory at Portsmouth, which the youngster put wide from 3 yards out. Asked about what he puts his instant impact down to, Connolly told the South London Press, confidence. The manager said quite a lot last week about Mihoilo, and you can't give a striker confidence, but you can't take it away. He's giving me confidence. He's trusting me and put it in me, and I'm performing at the moment, and hopefully that can keep going because, the club did take a gamble at the end of the day. I didn't play much football. Yeah, it's a short-term deal, but I hope to do well enough to stand that. It's about repaying that trust. At the minute, I'm doing that, and hopefully I can keep doing it. Connolly was hyped as a big prospect after making his debut for Brighton at 17, but then had loans at Middlesbrough, Venezia, and Hull, joining the latter for an undisclosed fee in August 2023. The following summer, he was released. The continual changes of scenery have been hard for him. Well, to be fair, there was a reason why he was released. I don't know if we're going to get into it in a minute. Oh, that's not great, because you get used to a club and change of room and then you moved on again. I feel like I need somewhere that's home. I feel maybe I got that at Millwall, the confidence I have when I'm playing. I haven't had that in a long time. We'll have to see how it goes. It's the very early days. It's difficult because I settled in Sunderland, made some close friends, and the next minute you're gone. Hopefully, I can keep performing and make the deal easy for them. It's a straight deal until the end of the season. We had a conversation that's based off performances, but we'll see what happens. It's about me performing. I'm not thinking too much about the contract right now. Now that we're pushing the top, near the top six, that's the main goal. If a new contract or contract talks come out of that, and then it's an added bonus. My whole last year I was in the same position. Then you get offered contracts and you turn them down and you don't play again. It was difficult. I didn't want to be in that position again. I explained to the gaffer here when it was going to be a short-term deal, and he said it's not something I do. I do not play a player because of the contract talks or discussions, and I trust him. Hopefully he trusts me, and I'd like to think the longer we go, the more trust he has in me. And Connolly, who turned 25 at the end of last month, has established a connection and respect for Alex Neil, appointed Millwall head coach at the end of December. Tactically, in and out of possession, everyone knows what they're doing, said the County Galway-born attacker. Yeah, County Galway, not Dublin. He's for the kind of half the boy into that you don't play. He's an honest guy. He told me what he expected of me when I met him before I signed. He says it how it is, and here's what you want in a manager. You don't want someone who's going to be a beat around bush and not do that. And that's one of the biggest traits I look for in a manager, honestly, because I've had managers in the past, they tell you what they think you want to hear, and then they tell you the harsh truth that maybe you're not going to play games or stuff like that. And it's frustrating to have a manager like that. We've got 3 wins on the bounce, so his tactics obviously spot on at the minute. It's been good so far, I've been playing games, which is what I wanted to do all season. Obviously, I didn't really do that at Sunderland, which is the main reason I wanted to leave there and go somewhere else. And Millwall came in, it was an easy decision. I know the club, I know Millwall. Like a lot of people do, I know what they're about. And, Alex Neil's the manager. And he's known to get promotions and to push players. And I spoke to a few of the boys at Sunderland, like Alan Brown, who, worked with him in Preston, was his captain. And they couldn't say good enough things about him. Alan gave him a good review. Not that I needed one because I kind of know about him anyway. Mike Dodds and Michael Proctor at Sunderland had good things to say about him as well. To understand Connolly's career course, you also have to touch on the fact that in October he talked about how he's battled an addiction to alcohol. He decided to talk about it in a video on Sunderland's official website, admitting he also rejected his parents' attempts to help him, saying at the time he became a tough person to be around. Nobody could tell me anything. He added the hardest thing to admit, he was living the life of a footballer without the football side of it. Connolly pinpoints the Premier League debut at the age of 19, scoring twice in Brighton's 3-0 win over Tottenham, as when his problems really started. He spent a month in rehab last summer. Asked about his brave decision to open up about it, he said, my mum grew up in a family, her dad was an alcoholic, and I've spoken to my mum numerous times about, the effect it had on her. I've got a problem as well, so I thought if I can help anybody, whether that's a footballer or just a person who's struggling in general with it, then why should I not? I think a lot of people probably knew anyway at Brighton, or in and around the city that I was probably struggling with addiction to it. I felt there was no point in keeping it to myself, the messages I received afterwards backed up why I wanted to do it. I'd like to think I helped a lot of people based off the messages I got than I did, especially around the Sunderland area and beyond that. And listen, there's still fans, if I'm warming up or playing, then they'll have a little dig at me about it, or, pretend to drink imaginary points, that's just football. I knew it was going to come, I'm not arsed about it. They weren't the people I was targeting, it was probably genuine people struggling with it. That if I can come out and speak about it and go and look for help, then why can't they? The AA meetings are free, you can walk into any and look for help. Connolly still has time on his side, and his desire to make up some of the lost ground could also benefit Millwall. He took just 30 seconds to score against Rangers. I felt a lot better after I missed a penalty against Luton, said Connolly. Maybe a few years ago I wouldn't have let that play on my mind for a few weeks or months if I hadn't already got a goal under my belt. 30 seconds is an ideal start, because you feel like you can relax and you play your normal game, and I had a few chances, the Portsmouth, and it just went wide. I said to Martin, the assistant manager after the Portsmouth game, that I just need one, and then I can go from there. It was a foul on Connolly that won the spot kick at Kenilworth Road, so did that not soften the blow of keeper Thomas Kaminski saving it? Oh no, nothing softens the blow of missing it. Even if I went past the whole team and got fouled, I still miss it at the end of the day. Changing my mind at the last minute was not the best idea. I never changed my mind in training. I know exactly where I want to put it. This is my first professional penalty, I think. I took a lot in the academy at Brighton, so I've got a 0% record at the minute. It's not going to turn me away from taking penalties in the future, because I'm an attacker. I want to score goals, and if I win it, then I want to take it. And I thought I saw the keeper go one way in the corner of my eye, but obviously I didn't see it right. People miss penalties. If we get another, then I'll definitely be stepping up to take it. And that was a point. That was an interesting point at the time. Is I pretty sure that is he now our official penalty taker? Or he was like, no, I got fouled. I won it. I want to take it. So I didn't see any like, oh no, I'm taking it. No, I'm taking it. I didn't see any of that. So I don't know if they were like, if they were just okay, yeah, we'll let him take it. Because I would imagine maybe someone like George Saville probably would have been the one to take it. But I mean, if Aaron Connolly, if he wants to take it, then fair play to him, He's already missed one, so you'd imagine he'll get the next one. It is a youthful attacking lineup for Millwall, Mihajlo Ivanovic and Ben Williams both 20 playing regularly since Neil took charge. I like the fact that there are young players around me, said Connolly. I've been in a position where you burst through, and if anything, I can give them some guidance on what not to do if you get in that position. Rahis and Mihajlo have been brilliant since I've come in. They made my job easier because I know when I look up that they're both there, and we got Luke now as well. Connolly no longer looks back and beats himself up over any missteps he's made in his life. Oh, it's my decision, which put me in the position that God put in. It's happened now. He said, maybe for the last few years I've been regretting looking back too much and thinking, what if? But now I've just turned 25 and there's plenty of time to turn it around and get back to that level. When you're focusing so much on the past, what you could and should have done better, you can't really get on with what you're doing now. I can work a lot harder every day now to get back to that level. I was 18 or 19 when I started playing at Brighton, playing number 9 for a team that was battling relegation for a long time in that period. I probably put too much pressure on myself at the time. I came through in the Ireland setup and everybody probably thought I was going to be the next Robbie Keane. And it's tough to emulate his career, They've got Evan now who kind of have the same hopes pinned on him. And it's difficult because the Irish fans are passionate, maybe I didn't live up to what they thought I was going to be. But it's all about now and hopefully showing what type of a player it can be. Now, I tried a lot of clubs before I went to Brighton. There were a lot of Irish boys there, like Jason Malumbi, who's been in Millwall. I'm still very close to Jason now. I loved every moment at Brighton. I love the city. I love coming in every day to the academy and then the first team. And Brighton's kind of like my home away from home. I have nothing but good things to say about the club and the people. I spent 9 years there. 6 or 7 years are probably the best years of my life. The success that is happening there, it's not a fluke. The chairman and the owner, Tony Bloom and Paul Barber, they're top people, and it's good to see what they're doing at the moment. Do I wish I could have been part of that long term? Yeah, probably, but that's life. I'm at Millwall and I'm loving it. He's loving it. That is, I like that. I do like that. He seems to have a few lines about making it back to the top. So he's got time. He wants to make it back to the top. So we'll see about that. I mean, he is a very good player. I mean, Premiership quality, not sure about that yet, but he is very good. He's very good. Very, very good. I do like him. Obviously, talking about new contracts, and obviously Steve Gallen did say about the other players that were out of contract that, ain't discussing nothing till we're certain what league we're going to be in. So you imagine it's the same with Connolly, and I would like to keep him a bit longer because he's quality player. In the peak of his, or maybe just pre-peak, he was 25. Let's say you peak at 28. I mean, man. Now, moving on to this. From londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press, attached too much pressure. Mill boss makes Zak Lovelace admission after Rangers exit. Alex Neil says it will be gradual bedding in process back at Mill for the returning Zak Lovelace. Lovelace 19 returned to the Den on deadline day after 2.5 years at Glasgow Rangers. The forward became Mill's second youngest ever debutant when he came on against Coventry City in December 2021, aged 15 years and 340 days. He turned down a professional deal to move cross-border. He was on schoolboy terms. And Mill offered him his first professional deal, and he decided to say no. But Lovelace, after 8 senior appearances at Ibrox, Yes, 8 senior appearances in 3 years. He's now back in South London as part of Alex Neil's squad. Neil said, for all the younger lads, this is one of the reasons I like mention transfer fees. Football in general, associates expectation with how much someone costs. The last thing I want to do is for Zak, Benny or young AJ Matthews is attach too much pressure on to our recruitment. These are boys who I believe over the course of time will be very good for Millwall, and they might not start the next game, the game after that, or the game after that, but they have to work their way up the ladder. But if they show they're capable like Reese has done, then they'll get the opportunities and chances. And what I don't want to do is build them up too much expectation around their arrival and what we're going to do to demand from them. Exactly. And here we go. This is also from London News Online.co.uk. The onus is on the new lads. Millwall bosses' January signings must work for first team places. Millwall manager Alex Neil spoke out about his approach to integrating the influx of signings that the club brought in the late stages of the January transfer window. Pardon me. The Lions brought in 8 players over the course of the window, with the likes of Aaron Connolly and Luke Cundall already amongst the goals from Neil, and others such as club record signing Camille Negley raring to make their mark. They joined a team that has won 3 games in a row and climbed to 14th in the Championship while being just 5 points off Blackburn Rovers in 5th. What makes it really straightforward is the lads have been in the team have performed very well, said Neil. So the onus is on the new lads to come in and state their claim and train well and to try and have an impact when they get the opportunity. Luke Cundall came in for the last game because I thought we needed that link between midfield and front line, which I thought he provided very well. Tristan Clammer's come in due to an injury and done very, really well, and Aaron Connolly had to bide his time, but he had a real impact coming as a sub at Luton, and then through injuries he's got his chance to play. So really the team has sort of formed itself as much as anything else, and that is not through me making a lot of changes or through me trying to be too smart. If anything, the team is the team, and it's up to the rest of them to try and work their way in. Neil highlighted that although signings may be made with certain timelines and expectations in mind, the bottom line is always down to what they can bring to the team in the moment to push them forward. Well, it's fair to say there's levels of acquisitions that the club have made. There are ones that are ready for the here and now, and there are ones that hopefully over the course of time will manage to work their way in. Rahis Bangora Williams would not have been one that anybody 4 or 5 games ago thought he was going to feature on a regular basis, but what he's done on merit, he's worked his way into the team and provided some great performances for us. So, albeit we sign these players with a certain intention, that intention goes out the window depending on how they're performing. Equally, that goes for the ones we deem to be for the here and now. If they're not performing as well as they should, or they're not training properly, then naturally people move ahead of them in the pecking order. We don't go, listen, we're happy if you only win X amount of games. The challenge always is how well we can do, and when we do that well, can we stretch that a bit more? Can we do a little bit better? That sounds good. Now, moving on to this. Injury update, looks like, from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall winger, pretty much there or thereabouts, ahead of Leeds FA Cup clash. Don't rush him back. We have players now. Don't rush him back. Don't let him get injured again. Alex Neil said Femi Aziz has trained for most of the week ahead of Millwall's FA Cup 4th round tie with Leeds United this Saturday. Aziz fully returned to training earlier this week after missing time with a minor injury sustained last month in the Lions' 3-0 win against Dagenham Redbridge in the FA Cup 3rd round. Well, it's been a month, so how minor can it be? You know what I mean? Neil also confirmed that Jeremy Mack, who's been absent since Boxing Day, is not far off making his return, while Josh Coburn has been absent since November, will be a little bit longer. Well, I think out of the 3, I think Femi's the furthest ahead, said Neil. Then you're closely followed by Edomo and then Josh Coburn, so we'll probably be the last one to come back out of the 3 of them. But I think Femi's done the majority of the week, so he's pretty much there or thereabouts. Edomo's probably a couple of days behind, and then Josh, we hope in the next 7 to 14 days, will hopefully start to make his way back. Now, this is also from the southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall boss not going to make loads of changes for FA Cup tie with Leeds, but league remains priority. Like I said, when the under-21 match report about how young the under-21 team was, I don't think that's because there were under-21 players going to be involved against Leeds because of this story. So let's read it. Alex Neil said he was not going to make loads of changes to Millwall starting 11 ahead of their FA Cup 4th round tie against Leeds United tomorrow. Neil has led a depleted Lions squad to win 3 on the bounce and now has far more options to pick from after Mill's January spending spree, which saw them add 8 new players. Three of those, Tristan Crammer, Aaron Connolly and Benicio Baker, are cup-tied and will not be available tomorrow's game, while Adoma Maku and Josh Coburn will likely miss out through injury. Femi Aziz returned to training earlier this week and is in contention to feature. I'm not going to make loads of changes, Neil said. I think changes will happen naturally for us, and the fact that we've got Tristan Clammer who's cup-tied, you've got Aaron Connolly who's cup-tied, and I know Benicio's sort of cup-tied, but again, it's a young goal and probably needs to buy his time a little bit more. I think as far as the changes go, there'll be changes that'll be forced upon us. There might be one or two changes that we'll make as well, due to the schedule that we've just come off the back of, more importantly, the schedule that's upcoming. Obviously, this game is a game we want to go and try and get a result in. And that's an important game for us, But I'm not going to lie, you said to me, what's our bread and butter? And what would I sacrifice? And I'd much rather win games in the league, because I want to try and finish as high as up the league as we can. Albeit we're certainly not taking the game lightly. This game will be a game that will put a team strong enough out that's going to be really competitive and hopefully can try and get a result. Indeed, because as I mentioned previously, it looks like Leeds may make as many as 8 changes. The only concern for me is who's going to be playing right back. Who is playing right back? Is it Wes Harding? Is it someone else? Will it be Casper Denor? We don't know. Now, atmosphere. Obviously, one of the concerns when you're signing younger players is they don't really have the gumption. Maybe they get a bit frit, they're a bit scared. But Mill boss Alex Neil confident his squad can handle hostile Leeds atmosphere. And again, this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is the South London Press's website. Millwall boss Alex Neil was looking forward to his side's visit to Elland Road for Saturday's FA Cup 4th round clash against Leeds United, stating his confidence that any players who are brought into the side are ready to handle the occasion. Millwall breezed past Dagenham and Redbridge at the 10 in the last round, but will face more robust opposition in an away trip to top of the Championship Leeds United. Then this got the same quote that I've just read about 1 or 2 changes. Neil was dismissive of concerns that his squad, and especially younger players in the likes of Rahees Bangor Williams, who have only recently broken through to men's football, might be intimidated by the hostile atmosphere at Elland Road. Who said that? No way. I don't look at any team that I could put out that wouldn't be able to handle that atmosphere, said Neil. I don't see any lack of bottle or lack of aggression or lack of commitment for any of the players. And I'll put the team at the moment, so I'm quite comfortable regardless of who we play. You only get experience through playing, so you can't be a team that wants to create more assets and give more opportunities to younger players and then be fearful of them playing in big games. They're never going to learn otherwise. Neil's side his team's improved away form of late as having given his side a boost ahead of the trip north. Before those couple of games, I wasn't really aware of how incredibly poor our away form had been actually over the season. I think we'd only won 1 game up until that point away from home. Yes, we had. Mr. Neil. To only have won a away game from home and then to go on and win 2 back-to-back on the bounce speaks volumes of the confidence and the mood we are in at the moment. It's fair to say that we're going to Leeds with more confidence than we would have done before we won those 2 games, because I think it takes a certain type of mentality, a certain type of team to understand what's required away from home and the ability to deliver it. He's blowing his own trumpet there, and he's patting himself on the back. He's like, "Oh, you've only won 1 away game all season, and then I come along and you win 2 in a row." Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Neil. But those teams were at the bottom of the table. They were Luton and they were Portsmouth. So we now go to Leeds United away. And how good is he? How good is Alex Neil? We're about to find out. We are about to find out. It would be fantastic if we did. Now, the game is an early kickoff, so must be on TV, right? Wrong. If you're in the UK and I think if you're in Ireland, you can watch it. If you're in the UK, you can't watch it. It's not anywhere. It's not on. So here we go. So we're going to start previewing the game now. It's on radio, audio, listening, no pictures. Just got to imagine it, TalkSport 2 radio and BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Extra, which you can get on the BBC Sounds app. So it's audio in the UK. However, if you are one of the many Millwall fans around the globe in this modern world, it's on different channels around the world. So you can see Angola. It's on Super Sport Maximo, of course. In Australia, it's on Optus Sport. In Bolivia, it's on Disney Plus Chile, which kind of weird because it's Bolivia, but it's Chile. In Brazil, it's on Disney Plus Brazil. In Canada, it's on Sportsnet. You can see here, it's various different things. I'll scroll down and we can get through it. Solomon Islands, it's in Singapore, it's in Slovenia, Sao Tome and Principe, Sweden, mostly around the world, not many in Europe to be fair, but there you go. Now it's annoying because just give me a second, guys. Sorry about that, I'm back in the room now. Is everything working? Testing. Yep, sorry about that, just to throw up. Not feeling too good. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so it's annoying because obviously this season the championship games have been moved to early kickoffs, and we get to watch them if we're not going to the game. It's on Sky Sports Plus streaming platform, and will the FA Cup follow suit? Now they could, because they do have their own streaming platform. It's called the FA Player. It's faplayer.thefa.com, and you can see they mostly use it for showing women's FA Cup games that nobody wants to watch. But the Emirates FA Cup games, they don't have any. And you'll imagine, if they just attack, obviously I think they show the games on here for free. Sometimes they show England under 18 games or something like that, under 16s. Obviously, if they just attach like a payment processing thing to this, and then let people stream it, that might be something to boost up the profile of the FA Cup, because you've just seen Tom, Dick and Harry around the world, they can watch it. They can watch the games, but us here in the UK, we can't even watch it, even if they move it to an early kickoff, which is disappointing, shall we say. Obviously, a lot of Millwall fans going to the Leeds game. They only give us 2,000 tickets, or less than that. I think 1,900. I think it may have just sold out, but there you go. So let's preview the game now. This is from 11v11.com. It's the historical record of games between Leeds and Millwall, and I've sorted it by Leeds versus Millwall. And as mentioned previously, this is the first ever cup game, FA Cup game, between Millwall and Leeds, ever. We've played all these games, home and away. The only cup we played in before was the Simod Cup, and if you're not old enough to remember that is a cup competition that was created to fill the void when English teams were banned from European competitions. So obviously that was short-lived. The only other kind of cup competition we played in was the League One playoffs. It was obviously two-legged playoff, and but if we look at trips to Leeds United, not that many. Not that many. Well, a lot of losses. A hell of a lot of red L's there. In fact, we've only won, 4 times up at Ellen Road, and we've only drawn twice, 2-1-1s. So obviously that's why when we won 4-3 up there, that was so iconic and so fantastic, that result. That was an insane game. 2018 4-3 win, 2010 2-0 win in League One, 2-1 win in 1988 April, obviously chasing promotion at the end of the season, so that was a big result. And 1931, any of you remember that? A 1-0 win. So wins and draws are few and far between, but we are entering a new paradigm. This is a FA Cup game between two of these teams. We haven't seen that before, so we wait to see. Now, remember as well, this game needs to be decided on the day. So I don't know if you've already booked your train ticket back. You might have to, you might be coming stuck because it could go to extra time and it could go to penalties. So that's something to think about. Now, let's go to this from whoscored.com. If you look at the record in the last 6 games, it's 5 wins for Leeds, 0 draws, and 1 win for Millwall. And in that game that we won, obviously the Leeds player got sent off. In these games, 6 games, 14 goals for Leeds and 9 for Millwall. 16 yellow cards for Leeds and 14 yellow cards for Millwall. Pretty tasty, I should say. That's a lot of yellow cards for 6 games. Wow. If we go down here and look, now obviously we assume, based on the manager's comments, and the situation that Leeds are in, that they might make a fair few changes, which could be helpful because this is pretty incredible. They've kept 5 clean sheets in the last 6 home games. In the last round of the Cup at home, I think that was the last round, it was 3rd round, they played Harrogate Town, so a local derby, and they only managed to squeak through 1-0. They conceded a goal against Blackburn, but that was on New Year's Day, so maybe some of them had been out drinking the night before. And then the last home game, they smashed 7 goals against Cardiff. Fun times for the Cardiff goalkeeper there, pulling the ball out of the net 7 times. But in Mill's away games, obviously, Alex Neil was in the crowd for the Coventry 0-0 game. He wasn't in charge. He was appointed the next day, or it was announced he was appointed the next day. He was in charge for this game after the Sheffield Wednesday away game, after he had 1 training session. We scored 2 away goals. I mean, wow, what the hell? We scored 2 goals away from home. I think that's still the most goals we scored 3 at Bristol City, and we lost 4-3. But I mean, 2 goals away from home. Wow. And since then, as Alex Neil previously mentioned, 2 away wins in a row, 2 1-0s, 2 clean sheets. Good stuff, lovely stuff. So again, Alex Neil, it seems to me, I don't know about you, but the more time he spends training with the players, the better they seem to get. So how good is he? He's got a test now, hasn't he? Leeds away. This is going to be pretty tasty, and we'll see how good he really is. So, if we move on to this, the preview and predictions. What do they predict at whoscored.com? Let's have a look. Pratchett Bamford's out for them. I think he's the only player missing, obviously, but we assume he's going to make a few changes. It says here they could go with the same 11 that started the 1-0 win over Harrogate in the 3rd round, which I assume is that what we're seeing up there, with Darlow in goal. Apparently their goalkeeper's fucking hated. Meslier. I think he's French and they fucking hate him. Pretty shit. He makes a lot of rickets. Match facts. Leeds have won 8 of their last 9 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. Leeds have scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. But obviously, those are all league games. This is a cup game. different paradigm. Prediction. Leeds earned an impressive 2-0 win at Coventry midweek and now unbeaten in 14 games in all competitions. They have won all but one of their last 14 at Elland Road, and that's another thing. They played midweek. Millwall would have had a week to prepare for Saturday's FA Cup game and will look to build upon their 2-1 win over QPR last week. The Lions have won their last 3 but don't have a great record at Leeds, having lost 8 of their last 9 visits to Yorkshire. Daniel Farke's rotated side should progress to the next round of the competition on Saturday. And they predict Leeds 2, Millwall 1. Okay, so let's move on to this. This is from sportsmole.co.uk. Obviously, the ball is different as well. I don't know if that makes a difference. Mikel Arteta seems to think it does. I'm not going to read all this. You can pause it and read it if you want. I don't mind, no problem for me. And they say Leeds United 2, Millwall 0. A fiery north-south battle could be on the cards this weekend because two informed teams who will back themselves to reach the 5th round. Leeds will be regarded as favourites to come out on top, though, and should find a way to get the better of the Lions, even if Farke is to make multiple changes to his lineup. Yeah. That's the thing, Is the second string for Leeds going to be as attacking as the first team? Now, if it's the same team against Harrogate, they only managed to beat them 1-0, and they're a League 2 team. So you would imagine it's going to be one of those keep it tight and try and nick some goals, not rather than just a shootout where we score, they score, and it's like the 4-3. But I would say I think this is going to be 1-1 after the 90 minutes, and it's probably going to be 2-1 to Leeds after extra time. Obviously, we assume they're going to make some changes, but they're not stupid. Then they will put the good players on the bench, and they can bring them off the bench to fix a game that they aren't winning. They can try and win the game if they want to. Then you imagine they might do that. But I think it's going to be 1-1. It's probably 2-1 after extra time to Leeds. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.